I'm so used to miking other people and not me.
Well, hello, Marty.
Hello.
It's weird saying hello to you. We've worked together for so many years.
Yeah, but this is like an evolution of it, you know?
It totally is. It's taken
yeah.
us this many years to get to this stage where we work seamlessly together. You know, having a production team and a technical team that sing together so well as we do is rare, and I'm really enjoying it.
Me too. And look, the studio is no longer just audio, it's
I know.
video.
This is very exciting. Okay, so I really wanted to focus on self-narration in this episode.
Sure.
Because we've done 3 very different self-narration projects. And talking about audio production in general is such a vast topic. You and I know that. And so many, you know, little alleyways you can go down to discuss. A lot of people come to us, and I used to discourage them, self-narration. A lot of people don't want to do it. They already listen to a lot of audiobooks themselves, and they know that the voice is all. A person will listen to the sample. If they don't like the voice, they're not going to go for it. However, I am really respecting people who say, I've got some skills and I think that my voice is the most suitable for this work, regardless of whether it's literary or whether it's another type of product. And those are the 3 different types of projects that we've dealt with. And I thought we might talk about it from a direction point of view and from a technical point of view, because we usually work together on a project, and we have someone in here, and you're on the outside mostly, and I'm on the inside with the person involved. So I was going to go through Penny Ann and her beautiful saga tales for children. And I found those fascinating because they were actually quite illustration rich. So the biggest growth, by the way, just from a research point of view, of audiobooks is in children's stories.
For sure.
Look, it means 2 things. One is it makes it a lighter burden for the parent, because you're sitting down at the end of the day reading to your child. So instead of reading yourself, you've got an audio facility. You know, you've got one of the platforms, whether it's Spotify or Audible or Kobo, whatever floats your boat in terms of medium. And you can have somebody narrating that and performing that particular book. You can have the book in your hand as well, focusing on the pictures. And there are some beautiful illustrations in Penny Ann's book, just very vivid, colourful fairies and small Australian creatures. So it was very exciting.
I think audiobooks, definitely for children, they just give parents another avenue of interacting with children. So they're usually, I would say that, I guess they're designed for parents and children to listen to together.
Yes.
So then the parent can react to something and the children can see that reaction.
Yes.
And be like, oh, this, you know, like this is an exciting bit.
Yeah.
Even if they don't fully understand what the story is about, they can at least, I guess, feel what the story is about.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool.
What I suppose is difficult to translate to someone, you can have a great voice, but it may not be audio compatible. You know, there's just something about the tonalities that, you know, there are some voices that audio just loves. You know, there are little bits of tones in there and depth and stuff that audio and good technical, you know, kind of mechanisms really plumb and make rich.
If you come to us with and if you want to narrate, if you want to self-narrate, we will usually, we'll be very welcoming of that, you know?
Absolutely.
You know, only if you have, something completely unexpected would we ever say, oh, maybe you should do maybe we can do this with a voice actor.
Yeah.
But in general, we love it when self-narrators, have that courage to come in and show their voice.
Well, hats off to you, Marty, because you work with a wide range of voices and you can create some magic in the whole audio production process. You never mask anybody's voice, but you do have an ability to be able to bring out the best of it so that it sounds palatable to the ear. Because what we're always aiming for in production is to produce something that people can sit down with and not want to stop listening. In the same way that if you get wrapped up in a story and you were reading it, I remember I was one of these nerdy kids, and just not want to go to sleep. Like your eyes are so tired, but you want to keep on reading. That's what we want. We don't want people to sort of go, oh yeah, I had enough, because it's too harsh.
Yeah.
It's a very intimate thing. So
And
we
I
go
get-
for the balance.
Yeah. And I think the way that I guess, edit books, I'm always really keen to hear whatever story it is.
Yeah.
I'm not one to shy away from any story, and we've had some hectic stories.
We have.
We really have. Like people, they do reveal themselves in their stories,
Yeah.
and I always find it fascinating what people write about.
Yeah.
And when I hear it, I'm just like, oh wow.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I don't think I'd ever even think about writing like about that.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's
There's
really
a few
cool.
productions we've got at the moment. I'm hanging out to hear them, each rush. I think what people don't realise is that most books need some level of audio management of their book. So re-looking at their book and seeing what needs to be adjusted to make it an audiobook. You agree?
I think so, yeah. I think usually when it's in pre-production and you're with the author mainly, I'm more getting ready for it. But I will usually hear from you that there is something about the text that we do need to change.
For instance, let's take Amelia's book, Amelia's art project book. Amazing. When we went through that book, we were basically restructuring it in a way, or massaging it, to make it more audio worthy. So that a person who is listening to it is not going to have to, I don't know what she's referring to here, because if you're just going through a list of A, B, C, D to Z, that's not going to translate well. So we then have to make a decision about will these points be narrated, or will they be part of a PDF that's attached? We had those sections that were called the golden points. That wasn't in the book itself, but it gives you some guidelines orally to be able to follow the book without having to put the book down.
Yeah.
So, that was probably needed more pre-production audio adjustment than most other books, just because of the nature of it. So people don't realise what we aim for is that you spend 2 hours in the studio for every hour of what we call a listening hour. So every listening hour is about 9,200 words. So you're really, in an hour, you're going to get less than 10,000 words on file. And we give you 2 hours of studio time for corrections, for rests, because it's very tiring on the voice.
Oh, it is.
Very tiring on the voice, let alone mentally,
Yeah, I think we usually try and do 4 hours, 4 real-time hours.
Yes.
So, because after that, you're just risking a bad performance, and then fatigue, and then maybe the performer doesn't come in the next day because they're too tired.
Yeah, correct.
Which I totally I totally get that.
Yeah.
Because it's really harsh being inside, especially inside a studio where it's like your ears are like. Even just being in this booth with the door open, you can hear it. You can hear the sound being treated, I guess. So a lot, after half a day of that, it's just like no more.
Yeah. And it's also very emotional. Like people, you're reading out your own work, and it doesn't matter whether it's, a kind of workbook like Amelia's, or whether it's poetry, or if it's kind of a little bit of a female inspiration, like Megan, we'll talk about her in a moment. These are words that you've spent a lot of time producing, and then suddenly it's coming to life in this way. And it's another layer of letting this work translate itself into the world. And that, for an author, is psychologically and emotionally impactful, you know. And I think when I love what Kristen does. Kristen prepares people who come into the studio, make sure that everything is seamless, gets them to think about each of their chapters. You know, that's why we've got the chapter description forms. Even if it's your own book, just to go through each chapter and go, how is it that I want this chapter to sound? You know, how does this fit in with the last chapter? Is this more upbeat? What characteristics are there about this? So they're then mentally attuned, but also scheduling. So we aim for an hour and a half of listening hour, finished listening hour per episode of recording, not really wanting anything more than that, letting that person have another half day to do whatever else they need to do, and then be able to kind of come back fresh the next day. She actually can work out how much of that is going to get read every day, how many recording hours we need in the studio, how many bookings we have. So everything is done for that person so that all their energy can then go into performing the book.
Yeah.
And then, of course, let alone the post-production, which is then you get to do all the ugly bits. I usually just turn away. I don't want to even have a look.
It's not ugly. It's not usually ugly if we get usually our recordings are pretty good.
No, it's just because I'm so non-technical. It's sort of like, yeah.
It's quite a joy, really. I like it. I like it a lot. But yeah, I see, that's the part that I can't see self-publishers, like I see them struggling with that a lot.
Yeah.
Like if they were to do that on their own.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's so much to learn. But I like storytelling a lot.
Yeah. Well, I suppose that's what we have in common is that because you're not just an audio engineer, you're in the creative arts. So you've been in music.
I would say I'm more of a, how would I describe myself? I would say I'm a sound creative, sound designer.
Totally.
Probably.
Yeah.
Because, there's a bunch of things I do, not just audiobooks, but I think audiobooks is just one of those ones that I really, you have to enjoy doing it. Otherwise, it's just going to be
it's not
a
worth
slog.
The slog.
Yeah. It's like you're going to be sitting on a computer for 8 hours listening to things.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to love that.
Yeah. Well, there are so many aspects, though, and just to be on top of it all between your team and my team is just a joy because we know what the product is going to be. And it's going to be a lasting one. Like increasingly, I'm getting authors who say, one of the reasons why I'm having this produced as an audiobook is my kids say, who are all grown up, I'm never going to read this. If you don't get it into audio, it is lost for all time.
Yeah.
And they go, this is the way. This is the way. They've been trained on podcasts. This is the way they get their information. That is, it's just a fact of life,
Yeah, everything's got to be a podcast now.
Yeah, totally. So we have gone from Penny Ann, who had this beautiful kind of literary saga tale that she had produced, that she had written and narrated. And then we had Amelia, who was, really kind of valiantly grasped the whole self-narration, even though it was way more difficult than she thought. Beautiful product. And I think she totally felt very satisfied. And she's a person who achieves a lot in her life, High achiever, has a whole team behind her. And I think she found this really challenging and found it very satisfying.
That's good.
To finish. And then we had someone like Megan Dalla Camina, who is a superlative performer, podcaster, completely confident in front of the microphone.
Oh, she was a joy to watch.
She was amazing.
And listen to.
Yeah.
Because we filmed a few socials.
Yeah.
And watching them back and just seeing her so, present with the microphone.
Yeah, for sure.
And her story.
Yes.
And that was great to
Yeah.
watch. I thought that was cool. And yeah, I think that might have been the quickest audiobook we've done in a while.
With anyone, like we've had the best of professional performers in the studio. You know, I'm just off the top of my head.
Megan's given them a run for their money.
Megan's given them a run for their money. You know, like she came in here, she was totally at ease. She would not let me in here, for one thing. She said, you on the outside looking at the script. And
no, that's fair.
Yeah. And we went, fine. I mean, she wanted the producer there, but she didn't want them in the same room. And then she kind of just, because it was a very inspired work, if I can call it that. It was something that came from the heart. And it was almost like a kind of yearning for action and enjoining other people to come into that yearning for action towards a higher vibrational level of understanding who they are in our current world. So very inspired piece of work, and she was able to inject that and go through it, and she'd rehearsed it. That was fast, and that was really lovely.
It was
to be
great.
with.
It was awesome. It was really, really cool to see.
So we can deal, but she felt totally confident that we knew what we were doing, and that, you know, this was not a podcast. This was podcasting and audiobook production. Two totally different things as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, yeah, of course. There's different techniques.
Yeah.
Yeah. Audiobooks are just, you know, they're so personal.
Yeah.
Like, the best audiobooks, I find, are the ones where narrators can just get that energy and get onto the level of the listener. They know their listener. Yeah. And I think Megan just nailed it. She knew exactly what she was doing.
Yeah.
It was wonderful to see.
Look, I'd like to end up on this note, because we can talk about this forever. I just know.
Yeah, totally.
But
this is just an update.
Just an update.
This is AudiobooksRadio, EchidnaAudio.
What I like about the stream we get into with the person who's in the room with us is that when we have the actual audio waves in front of us with the script, so you can actually see the travelling of the voice and the sound and the words in audio waves in front of us. And that's important, because at certain points you'll go, can we repeat that? I mean, guys who are listening to this, you can't just reiterate one word. You've got to go back to a certain point. And that's where the audio engineer sitting outside is going logically by looking at the waves. And you can see the logic behind it too, if you're in here.
Yeah.
We've got to go back to this point where there is a gap between two words. And then you bring it back. You bring the whole sound back so we can hear it. So the person who's performing can listen to the lilt and rise of where they were up to, be able to repeat it, and then swing into action and finish the rest of the sentence or the rest of the paragraph. And we just do that. And after a while, it takes a while, I think, for people to get used to that. But when they get used to it, then it's sort of like, okay, no, there's no dilly-dallying. We just do it. Where do you want me to take it from? That's where I'll lead you in. And it really works so much better for me, I think, and also for the person who's doing the narrating to see those waves, to see how the audio is sort of tracking, because it gives you a kind of neural pathway, that you can understand about what you're going through as well as us.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.